Monster King podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Ruse, and I empower young men to find their power, passion, and purpose. Today, I wanted to speak to you guys about how you can build your confidence up. I see a lot of talk in this space, and I wanted to add my 2 cents to it. And I think the undercurrent that we've currently been seeing over the past 10, 15 years minimum has been this focus on feelings and this focus on really behaving in accordance with how you feel on any given day. And I'll probably touch on this in regards to discipline and in regards to success and business and fitness routine. But in regards to confidence, the way that this is played out is that we are now the least confident we've ever been. As young men, a lot of us struggle with our confidence and we're not sure why. And I believe a big reason to that is because of this undercurrent of society that is telling us to focus on our feelings, when instead, what we need to be doing in a lot of areas in our life is, regardless of how we're feeling, push through. And that's no different in confidence and in building confidence. And so when we're looking at growing in confidence, when we're looking at, say, stepping out of our comfort zone in order to build in our confidence, we need to go against how we feel, because it's going to feel scary. It's going to feel scary to jump. It's going to feel scary to talk to that girl. It's going to feel scary to approach that job interview. And if we only act and behave based on how we feel, we're never going to step out of our comfort zone. And if we never step out of our comfort zone, then we will never be able to build ourselves up. We'll never be able to build confidence in our ability to get things done. Because what is confidence? Confidence is the belief that we can or cannot do something, right? Or say something. Okay. So how do we build confidence? 4 tips, and I'll probably, once I get into it, put some other tips in there. But number 1 is you need to start from, where is my baseline? So what level is my confidence out of 10? Am I a 7 out of 10? Am I a 9 out of 10? Can I get in front of crowds, speak? Can I enter parties and be completely fine? Or am I on the lower end of the spectrum and I'm a 2 or a 3 and I have social anxiety and I'm worried to speak about to that girl? You know, I'm scared to approach potential job opportunities. Yeah, I'm really quiet in the workforce. I don't have a lot of friends. I'm lonely. So understanding where you currently are at is crucial, because where you're at will then determine what steps you need to take in order to build your confidence up. So we start with where we're currently at. Once you understand where you're at, then you can put in place some of these tips that I will go into. So firstly, touched on it just before, but you build your confidence by stepping out of your comfort zone, by understanding that through doing difficult things, through stepping out and pushing yourself, that is where you gain confidence. You can't gain any confidence in your comfort zone because it's your comfort zone. You're not pushing yourself. And so you're not proving to yourself that you can do difficult things. You're not proving to yourself that you can go out into the world and do or say the things that you would like to do and say. And so utilizing where we're currently at, we have to say, all right, I can do X, Y, and Z. All right, I can do these things. What I would like to do is these things over here. And so we've got a gap between where we're at and where we want to go. And rather than saying, all right, I'm going to do this thing tomorrow, and potentially you try and it cripples your confidence, and then you take a step backwards. Instead of doing that, what I would encourage you guys to do is look at what's the next step. What's that just outside my comfort zone? A great author called David Dieter, in his book, Way of the Superior Man, calls it living life on the edge, and men need to live their lives on the edge. So how can you live your life on the edge of your comfort zone? Okay, let's take a real life example. All right, you suffer social anxiety. Let's say you're a 1 or a 2 out of 10 on the confidence spectrum. What you want to do is you want to get to a 3 or a 4. All right. So rather than saying, okay, I'm going to go to this university party or this high school party, which would put you way out of your comfort zone and probably diminish your confidence when you get there, is say, okay, how can I have conversations that I can grow in confidence? So, what that can look like is, what are your daily habits? What do you do day in, day out that you can start to incorporate some form of confidence building exercise into it? Let's say you get a coffee every morning. How can you speak to the barista and develop some sort of relationship with the barista over a couple of weeks? Right? How can you utilize those conversations that you have every single day to grow in confidence? And that might take you from a two to a three. That's still better than staying at a two or going and trying to do something that a seven needs to do and then going back to a one or a 1.5 or a 0.5 or a zero. So we get to a three, then we get to a four, then a five, then a six. And so you're constantly looking at, what are the practical things that I can do that put me out of my comfort zone? One thing that I will stress time and time again on this podcast is a man's ability to forge himself under pressure and through challenges. And there's no better way to do that than in the gym or through an exercise routine, because I can visually see my progress day in, day out, and I can feel the difficulty of doing these things. And so I get not necessarily an immediate reward, but I get a reward that I can see over consistent periods of time. So when I go into the gym and I exercise and it's really difficult and I come home, I get the immediate gratification of all the dopamine, all the chemicals going off in my brain. And so I feel better as a result. But I do that day in, day out, day in, day out. And over time, my body starts to change and I start to see the results of my hard effort. Now, in regards to confidence, if you're not confident in who you are in this physical body, it's going to be really difficult for you to become confident in other areas of your life. So why not start with the body, with the vehicle in which we all operate our worlds in, which is gain some confidence in your physical appearance, in how you show up, in your fitness, in your health, and start there, because we can all go into the gym. We can all go for a walk. We can all go for a run. We can all start to do certain things that will inevitably increase our confidence. Because if I show up to that party and I'm not confident in the way that I look, doesn't matter how many hacks, doesn't matter how much charisma on command videos you watch on YouTube, if you're not showcasing in your posture, in the way that you enter a room, in the way that you show up day to day, people will see through your fake confidence. People will poke holes in that false armor. So start with forging yourself in the gym or through an exercise routine. All right. And that will put yourself out of your comfort zone. Day one, you go into the gym, you do 10 push-ups and you're sore. Day 50, you go and you do 100, right? Day 365, you get in there and you're bench pressing 100 kilos. Okay. You're constantly putting yourself just on the edge. And that's how we grow in the gym. And that's how we grow in confidence. So number one, step out of your comfort zone. Number two is do difficult things. Do difficult things. Why does this help us grow in confidence? Because if I'm only doing the things that are easy, I'm not showing to myself what I'm capable of doing. But if I start to do difficult things, and again, carrying on from my last point on gradually getting more and more difficult, I'm going to grow in confidence because I'm doing difficult things. And so when you go and do something difficult that says, oh, wow, I can actually do that. I had a client just yesterday say to me the same thing. Wow, I didn't realize I could do these things. And then I did do them and I feel amazing. I feel better about myself. I feel like I can achieve more. And so if you're not stepping out into the world and doing difficult things, it's going to be really fucking hard for you to think that you can do difficult things. These are really simple concepts, but very few people enact them. Why? Because they're difficult. It requires effort. It requires you to forge yourself into a man under pressure and through challenges. And back to my initial statement, the undercurrent in society today has not been encouraging resilience. So we need to bring back this piece. The last thing is, and probably the most important thing in building confidence, is being a man of your word. Being a man of your word. If I say I'm going to do something and I continually do it, when I say I'm going to go talk to that girl at the bar, I believe myself that I'm going to go do it. When I say I'm going to go and try out for that sports rep team, I believe that I have a chance to go and compete with the best of the best. When I tell myself I'm going to go for that job interview that's a little bit out of my reach, I have the confidence to go and do that and then fulfill my word. And I probably am going to believe that I can get that job, which may be the difference between getting it and not getting it. So be a man of your word, because when you are not, what ends up happening is you lose trust in yourself, in your own ability to say you're going to do the things you're going to do. And if you don't trust yourself, even as you're saying them, then you have no confidence in your ability to achieve them. You have no confidence in your ability to actually attempt them. And long term, what happens is when you continually tell yourself you're going to do something and you don't, you end up, as you're saying, yeah, I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow, in your head, as you've said that, you already know you're not going to do it. You already lack the confidence to get up at 6 a.m. the next day and do something difficult because you've lost that trust with yourself. So you need to be a man of your word. So let's recap. Okay. Figure out where you are currently. Are you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 10? Where are you? Step out of your comfort zone. Do difficult things. Be a man of your word. All right. Gentlemen, if you found this podcast useful, please subscribe, leave a review. I think it takes about 60 seconds. The more people that I'm able to reach this podcast, the better and the bigger that our brotherhood will grow. And as always, Young King sending you love and strength.